The sewing life alchemist Shou Tucker is possibly the most hated character in the whole Fullmetal Alchemist franchise, if not all of anime and manga. Those of you who have not watched the original Fullmetal Alchemist anime and have not read past volume 2 of Fullmetal Alchemist manga, I do advise you to stop the video right now. Don't worry, I'll be here when you come back. I'll be reading this. For those of you who refuse to acknowledge my spoiler warning, who is Shou Tucker? Shou Tucker is a state alchemist who is looking after his daughter and her dog all by himself for the past 2 years because his wife left him. He never really has time to spend with his daughter because he's always working non-stop trying to develop what he created that made him a state alchemist, which was a talking chimera, which was 2 years ago as well. But unfortunately for him, it killed itself. And if Shou Tucker could not produce those same results or anything close to it by a certain amount of time into a report that he has to send off to the military, he will possibly get his license for alchemy taken away from him and his funding will stop entirely. At this point, some of you might be feeling sorry for Mr. Tucker. Well, I'm about to change that. So one night, Ed and Al go to Tucker's place. They find out that he's created a new chimera, a second chimera that can talk just like the first one. Great, right? Soon we find out that the chimera was actually the result of him using his daughter and her dog, mutilating them, fusing them together to form this absolutely depressed creature that wanted basically not to live anymore. We really see the madness in Tucker through this episode. This is the first time we see him go crazy, absolutely nuts, and how he compares himself to Edward Elric. This gets really dark. This is a really dark turn in the series for me. This is where shit happens. We also find out that his wife didn't even leave him 2 years ago. She was actually used to create the last chimera that talked, that got him his state alchemist license. I bet a lot of you are feeling less sympathetic towards the character now since I've said all that. Apart from the fact that he is voiced by Chuck Huber, there is nothing great about this character at all. There's nothing good about him in any way, or at least in the manga and Brotherhood. From watching the first anime again, I started thinking a bit about Tucker's character in it, and this is just really me grasping at straws, just sort of hoping that he's not as monstrous as a lot of people think. So in both the manga and in Brotherhood, Tucker isn't really there as long. He's just there for a very brief period. But in the first anime, he is in it quite a lot. So after Tucker was reported by Ed and Al to the military, he was actually still creating chimeras. He even turned himself into a chimera. Blah, 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 blah. Let me restart that. He even turned himself into a chimera. I said it right. And as a result of that, he also started to create different chimeras. I don't know why I'm having difficulties right now. Chimeras. Anyway, Tucker was creating different chimeras that looked somewhat like his daughter, because he was trying to bring her back. He was trying so hard, trying with different chimeras, trying to make different dolls. So much he was trying to do, trying to bring back his daughter. And when he did create the perfect doll of Nina, he tricks Al, who has a Philosopher's Stone inside of him, trying to use it to bring back Nina's soul and put it inside the doll. Now you're probably wondering, why am I bringing all this up? Well, the reason I bring it up is because what if What if Tucker realized a way to separate both Nina and Alexander? What if that he was only temporarily fusing the two beings together and making it more as if just to present it to the military, just going, hey, I have a talking chimera, and then possibly bring the chimera back, separate both Nina and Alexander, separating them apart. Because if you've seen the anime, and hopefully you all have, you can tell at that point Tucker was really desperate, and it was so close to the deadline as well. A short time after Tucker was reported, Scar killed Nina and Alexander. And I'm sure that also went to Tucker's madness, because he was creating chimeras and dolls of Nina, his daughter, trying to bring her back to life. Throughout the anime, the first anime, we see him actually try so many times. The last time you see him, he has many different dolls of Nina created until the very perfect one was there. I even felt somewhat sorry for the guy when he was carrying the doll that looked exactly like his dead daughter, thinking that her soul had come back to the body, and he kept thinking that Nina was there. The madness as he just went down the basement stairs slowly, until he disappeared into his own madness. But to be honest, this really isn't anything more than just speculation work. There isn't really any hard evidence to support what I'm saying. It's just a theory. So with everything said, is Shou Tucker really that bad? Of course, he's absolutely terrible. Now you're probably thinking, why would I even bother saying what I did before? Well, I really just wanted to get people's minds going, possibly thinking of this. And if you are watching this video, maybe write down in the comments, maybe what I've said convinced some people to look at Tucker in a different way, and maybe convince me a bit more, maybe add on to that. But for where we are now, and from just speculation work, he really is a terrible human being. And even what I've said already with him trying to get the Philosopher's Stone inside of Al, trying to get the soul of Nina back into the doll's body. Sloth, I believe it was Sloth, the homunculus in that series, said his willpower wasn't even that strong to bring Nina back. So by that logic, as a parent, his willpower should have been stronger than anybody's to bring her back, or at least one of the strongest choices you could think of to bring, his own child back. But clearly, it sort of shows that it's the madness that wanted to bring her back rather than his love for her. And more likely, the guilt actually, not the madness. The guilt is trying to bring her back. Also, the first anime isn't even the original work of the creator. So you could basically just scrap all that and then just basically have everything on Shou Tucker based on the manga and Brotherhood. And even the creator herself said that he was one of the most hated character in the series. And now I have read an article that there was a picture she drew, and I think I actually saw it as well. Yeah, I believe I did. There was a picture of every character in the series that died. No character at all except Tucker is in hell. So that's saying something. If you've seen the whole all the characters in Brotherhood and in the manga, and Tucker is the worst and the only one sent to hell, that is saying something. So that's pretty much it for Is It Really That Bad video. I really hope you guys enjoyed, and hopefully I've given you guys something to think about. I don't know when the next time I'll be doing one of these will be, but stay tuned, subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, please like. Tell me your own theories, possibly down in the comments below, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.